Hello, here's how to find the initial value and the slope and growth factor from linear and exponential tables. Uh, Basically, what you want to do is when you look at the table, you want to find out what the pattern is in. Find out what's going on with the x's, and then find out what's going on with the y's, and see if you can figure out what the patterns are. So when I look at my first one here, I can see that the x's are just going up by 1, so I'll add 1 here. And then for my y's, I can see this is just subtracting 10 as I go down here. And so my slope on this line, I can tell it's a slope because it's just subtracting 10 each time. My slope's going to be negative 10. And then to find the initial value on any table, you just need to find out where x is 0. Because if you remember when you're graphing things, you're finding the y-intercept, and the y-intercept is when x is 0. So I can look here and I see x0 here, so my y value there is going to be my initial value of 60. Whereas when I look at a table like this, I look at my x's, and it appears to be going up by 2, so it's adding 2 each time. And then my y's appear to be subtracting 7 each time. And so this one, since it's like add and subtract, it is going to be linear. And then my slope is going to be negative 7 halves, because it goes down by 7 on the y's and up by 2 on the x's. So negative 7 over 2. Again, my initial value is just when x is 0, so I find the y value, and it's negative 3. Looking at these exponential ones, I can find my initial value real quick. It's when x is 0, so I find this first one is 32, and my other one is 7. And now I have to figure out what the pattern is. My x's are going up by 1, so it's all add 1 there, add 1, add 1, add 1. You do have to double check the x's to make sure what's going on. But on the right side here, on my first one, going from 2 to 8 into 32 is all times by 4. So my growth factor is going to be 4. And then on my second one, I see it's getting smaller. And I can see here, to get small, you have to be dividing by something. So it's going to be like divide by 3 each time. And so if you have a pattern of divide by something, you just need to remember that dividing by 3 is the same thing as times by 1/3. Just like if it's divide by negative 2, that's the same thing as times by negative 1/2. And so for my growth factor, I'm not going to put divide 3, I'm going to put 1/3. So go over to the U-try section for these tables, pause the video, take a moment to figure them out, and then come back and check. So let's have you check your answers here. Our first one here, I saw my x's were going up by 1, my y's were going up by 3, so it makes it linear. My initial value here is just when x is 0, so I got negative 1. And then going up by 3 on y's and 1 by x's means my slope is 3. Number 2, I notice a pattern of x's going up by 1s, but my y's were dividing by 5 each time, so that means it's exponential, and since it's divide by 5, I'm going to put my growth factor as 1/5. The initial value, again, is just when x is 0. Number 3, the initial value, again, where x is 0, so it's 8. I looked at my x's, and they're going up by 3, and my y's are going up by 11, so my slope's going to be 11 over 3. Number 4 here, my initial value is just negative 48, it's when x is 0. My x's went up by 1, my y's are timesing by 4, and so my growth factor is going to be 4 on my last one. So hopefully that's helpful in practicing how to get initial value and slope and growth factor from tables. Good luck.